Today is the
Democratic strategist Jamal Simmons worked for President Bill Clinton and advised President Barack Obama's 2008 campaign. He's a CBS News political contributor, and he also works for Hill TV, and he joins us now. Jamal, good morning.
Good morning, folks.
So this is a very peculiar trial unfolding in the Senate. You have lawyers for the president trying to rebut the evidence that's been brought forth so far, and at the very same time, kind of in the wings, just off stage, more evidence seems to be percolating.
And keep in mind, you call it a trial. These guys sitting in the Senate and women who are sitting in the Senate are judges as well as jurors, as well as litigants, because they get to actually ask questions and request more information. So I think what we're looking for is almost like church, right? We've got 3 senators. Is there one more? I know Bishop Jakes is coming here. Is there one more? And I think the Democrats are trying to put pressure on some of these folks who might be statesmen or stateswomen to say, listen, the country is at stake here. You guys should come out.
Do you think they'll be able to find the one more? And what are the risks for the one more coming forward?
So I think that they are maybe 1 or 2 more. The question, though, is when do they come out? And they might wait to come out until the very last minute because Donald Trump will go ham on anybody who is trying to oppose him.
Very hard.
Very hard for people who are watching at home.
Yes.
Check your hip hop.
For people that don't know the
The Republican strategy is to attack Bolton's credibility.
Yes.
Is it an effective strategy?
Yes, because they attack everybody's credibility. The question now will be, Bolton is one of theirs, right? Bolton is a tried and true Republican, tried and true conservative. I think they've got a lot of internal politics that they're going to have to manage. Donald Trump seems to say, forget about the rest of the Republican politics. I'm the only Republican that matters. Are you with me or are you against me?
Something else Republicans say is, hey, look, this impeachment trial is getting ahead of an election that's coming up. So let's talk about Iowa, because that's where a lot of Democrats are campaigning right now. Who do you think is emerging right now as a leader in Iowa, and where does that take the race going forward?
It's clear Bernie Sanders is the one on the ascent. You know, we talk a lot about the senators who are sitting in Washington and can't campaign in Iowa. Bernie Sanders is the one who's got the most devoted following. So his people, they don't move. They're going to stick and stay with him. The other people are still in the persuasion business. Elizabeth Warren, the others, they're trying to get people to come to them. Bernie Sanders has already persuaded his voters. He's got to show up.
You know, if he's polling at 25%, that still means 3 out of 4 people say not him.
Right. Sure, but when you got 8 or 9 people on the ballot, that could matter.
But right now they are calling it a surge. Why do you think he's surging at this particular time?
I think people are looking for, we've seen this in a lot of polling, and I'm just going to say it here on television, a lot of people are looking for an old white guy to fight the president, right? And so that's why you see Biden and you see Bernie being very strong in all the polling, and you see something more remarkable. A lot of people who like Biden say they'll go to Bernie, even though they're ideologically very different people. Except they've got 1 or 2 things.
We were talking in the green room about another old white guy who people are starting to talk about, which is Bloomberg. What are you seeing percolating there?
Bloomberg is making a lot of moves. He's obviously spending $200 million in TV and digital ads, and that matters in an election with such confined time space. And he's campaigning in places where other voters aren't. They're not in California. They're not in Michigan. My dad, who's in Michigan, has been talking about people going to Bloomberg meetings and how people are starting to show up just to ask questions and see if it's real. A month ago, I would have said, no way a billionaire with criminal justice problems is going to be the nominee of the Democratic Party. Today, I'd say, let's be a little bit more patient and take a look at it.
Your dad is not an old white guy. What is he saying?
He is saying that Bloomberg's interesting. I mean, he's been all over the map. He's not somebody who's for any particular person. My mom, however, loves Amy Klobuchar.
Right. But there are a lot of Democrats out there who aren't for a particular person.
And I was just in Iowa last weekend, and I heard from a lot of people who said Bernie Sanders, he may be leading in the polls, but, you know, socialist is not a word we like around here.
That's right.
And you know Republicans will tar him with that.
Absolutely. One more thing before we go. Those 5 impeachment managers who are up there, they're all up there for a reason. I think you're going to see them be superstars on the Democratic stage going forward the rest of the year. They'll be surrogates for every congressional campaign, whoever the presidential nominee is.
For them, it's bigger than what's happening in the Senate right now.
Absolutely. This is just the first stage of the Democratic argument about why Donald Trump should be president again.
Jamal Simmons, thank you very much. Appreciate it.